You have a question, Joy?
Yes, my
Yes.
okay. It is believed that once a person turns, or a teenager rather,
Right.
turns 18 years of age, it's believed that they become adults.
Adults.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
adulting is scary, right?
yes, ma'am. I mean, there's a lot that goes with adulthood.
Mm-hmm.
You see, married people wishing they had not gotten to that stage whereby they'll have to handle a lot of responsibilities.
Right.
So, is it really true that a teenager who is 18 years
Mm-hmm.
old is an adult?
Okay, so I like that you're saying that a lot of adults, when you look at adults now, especially people who are married and probably have a family, now they're thinking like, oh, I wish I was not an adult and have all these responsibilities. But I can promise you something. When they were 18 and below, they were in a hurry to become adults. So it's always really interesting that when you find young people, they're in a hurry to become adults. And when you find adults, they're like, oops, nobody told me that adulting was such a big responsibility. So in the eyes of the law in many countries, yes, 18-year-olds are considered adults. And maybe in some countries, 21. On the top of my head, I can't remember which countries, but in most countries, it is the age of 18. Because there's a general belief that at that age, a lot of young people have started leaving home and they're in tertiary institutions. And in tertiary institutions, you take responsibility for yourself a lot, right? So at that age, responsibility, which is the key word that you said, and I like, you start to take responsibility. You start to make decisions. You start to make decisions that impact on you. So I think what it is that the government recognizes that, and they want you to be aware of the decisions that you're making. That's where responsibility comes in. So yes, you become an adult at that age, and that means that you have to think for yourself, make decisions for yourself, but most importantly, understand the consequences of your decisions, that they will impact your life. Unfortunately, when you think about legally, that is the age where if somebody unfortunately commits a crime, they have to pay for their actions. So in that space, you're rewarded for your actions. The rewards come to you, and you pay for your actions if they're negative.
I believe.
Yeah.
I believe a lot of people are rushing to get to adulthood because, it's the concept of being in control of your own life. You don't know, you're jumping from your mom yelling at you to your boss yelling at you. But you need to really look into the future than just looking at, what you see online, because a lot of people online make it look so easy.
To be an adult?
Yeah, to be an adult.
Right.
Yeah, they try and make it look like it's a walk through the park.
So two things actually. It feels good to finally be in that space where, like you said, your parents don't make all your decisions for you, right?
Yeah.
But every season of adulthood comes with this thing called responsibilities. I say to people, I'm like, in that headspace, you're free, right? You feel like, oh, I'm free. My parents won't tell me what to do anymore. They won't tell me when to wake up. They won't tell me when to clean my room. They're not going to tell me what kind of clothes I need to wear. Now I can make my own decisions. They won't insist that I eat or I read or all of those things. Yes. However, the other thing I always say is that freedom comes with something called the burden of freedom. So what's that burden? Now, the choices that you make will make you. And at that point, all of a sudden it dawns on you that what choices am I making? Because you receive the outcome or the feedback of your choices almost immediately, right? If, for instance, at 18, you can possibly drive. Before you were 18, possibly parents would tell you no, and you were driven somewhere. Your parents bore the responsibility for buying fuel in the car, from getting you from point A to point B. But as soon as you become an adult, yes, you're free to go out. Yes, you're free to jump in the car. But now you have to think about the fueling for that car. You have to think about making sure that you're safe while you're driving. That responsibility wasn't yours. So I always tell people, when you're not an adult, don't crave for adulthood really quickly, right? But as you become an adult, your choices will matter. And guess what? It's an opportunity for you to give yourself a good life. So now you're in the driver's seat and you must decide, who do I want to become? Start defining, who do I want to become? And start to make the choices that make you become the kind of person that you want to become. So I hope you're excited about becoming an adult and not afraid. And can I be honest with you? I think I enjoy being an adult. But sometimes when I think about the responsibility of being an adult, now I want, to be a child again.
Okay,
Right.
this one, I also have a question.
Yeah.
Okay, are there pressures? I mean, since everyone is craving to become an adult,
Yes.
and the responsibilities and like how they have to live without being told what to do. They now
Right.
have the right to do what they really want to do, or what
Yes.
they desire.
Mhm.
So are there pressures like on you, like now, since you're an adult now,
Yes.
are you being pressurized of being an adult?
So yes. So I don't want to call it pressure. It's the word you used, and I think that's the key word. It's responsibility. It's responsibility, and yes, sometimes responsibility can feel like pressure, because now that I know that, before I was 18, probably my parents would wake me up. So now I have to wake myself up. So that's responsibility. And maybe the first day I was supposed to wake up by myself, I didn't wake up by myself. That day will slide, but something will suffer. Possibly if you're in school, your lectures will suffer. If your lectures suffer, your grades will suffer. If your grades suffer, your future is in jeopardy. Your future is at risk. So, like I said, it may not be pressure, it's just responsibility. And all of the things that maybe your parents or your guardians taught you when you were growing up, you start to see them as important. Initially, when you were younger, you used to be like, oh, why do I have to wake up now? Why do I have to wash the dishes? Why do I have to wash my clothes? Why do I have to tidy my room? Can't I just be? All of a sudden, when cockroaches fill your room, you're like, that's why I need to tidy my room, wash up my plates, and keep my environment clean. So like I said, the feedback from wrong choices is quicker when you're an adult. And then it could have lifelong consequences. So it's always good to remember the things that you were told while you were growing up, and the things that felt irritating, burdensome sometimes to you, then they become very important in that time, right? So I hope that you will learn to make the right choices as you go. Yeah? For the meantime, I want you to like, share, comment, give your thoughts on the questions that they asked and the answers that I gave, and share your thoughts with us. And perhaps if you're somebody who has a question to ask, I don't have to know who you are, and I can answer your questions anonymously if you want. There's a form in the bio. I want you to click that link, fill out that form, and send your questions to me. I'd really like to hear from you and engage with you. Thank you so much for joining this episode, and speak to you all later.